What's the most selfish thing a relative did to steal an inheritance? My aunt smiled at me across my grandmother's hospital bed, holding her hand like a devoted daughter. Don't worry about anything, Mom. I'll handle all the paperwork, she cooed. Grandma, barely conscious from the morphine, meekly nodded. I should have known something was wrong when Aunt Carol insisted on being alone with her that afternoon. The lawyer needs to update some documents, Carol told me, blocking the doorway. Family financial matters. Very private. I'd driven 6 hours after getting the call that Grandma had taken a turn for the worse, but Carol acted like I was intruding. I'm family too, I reminded her. Grandma raised me after Mom died. She waved dismissively. You were barely here the last few years. Some of us actually took care of her. That stung. I'd been stationed overseas with the military for 3 years, sending money home monthly to help with Grandma's care. Carol knew this. She'd cashed every check I sent. 2 days later, Grandma passed peacefully in her sleep. Carol was already at the house when I arrived, sorting through jewelry boxes. Just securing valuables, she said, pocketing Grandma's wedding ring, for safekeeping. The will reading was scheduled for the following week. Carol sat there looking pleased with herself, designer purse in her lap. The lawyer, Mr. Harrison, looked uncomfortable as he began reading. This is a new will, executed 5 days ago, he announced. My heart sank. 5 days ago, Grandma could barely recognize our faces. Everything goes to my devoted daughter Carol, who has cared for me when others abandoned me, he read. The house, the savings, the investment accounts, everything, even the photo albums. That's not right, I said, standing up. Grandma's original will split everything between us, she told me last month. Carol shrugged. People change their minds when they realize who really loves them. She had advanced dementia, I shouted. She called me by my dead mother's name. She was perfectly lucid when she signed, Carol said smoothly. The lawyer can confirm. Mr. Harrison shifted nervously. She did seem aware at the moment of signing. I knew something was off. Was anyone else present? Any witnesses besides you? Well, Carol was there to help explain things. Help explain? I pulled out my phone. I have a voicemail from Grandma that same day. Listen to this. Grandma's confused voice filled the room. Susan? Is that you? Why won't you visit me? The nurses here are so mean. When is Daddy coming home from the war? But I wasn't done. Mr. Harrison, did you know Carol had been giving Grandma Xanax? I have the medical records right here. I pulled out the hospital file I'd requested. Her doctor noted concerns about unexplained sedation levels. Those were prescribed, Carol protested. By what doctor? Because her primary physician told me he never prescribed them. I turned to the lawyer. She was drugging our grandmother to make her compliant. Other family members in the room started murmuring. My cousin Jake spoke up. Carol did keep insisting on being alone with Grandma, and she wouldn't let us visit during her bad days. I pulled out more papers. I also have bank records showing Carol withdrew $30,000 from Grandma's account over the last 6 months. Grandma could barely hold a pen, but somehow she signed all these withdrawal slips. Carol stood up, clutching her purse. I was her caregiver. I deserved compensation. I needed things. Do you know how hard it was watching her all day? You hired a homemade with the money I sent, I said. Maria told me she worked 5 days a week. You were barely there. The lawyer cleared his throat. Given these circumstances, I think we need to investigate the validity of this will. You can't do this, Carol shrieked. She signed it. It's legal. I pulled out my final piece of evidence. Is it? Because the nursing home has security footage from that day. Should we review it together? See how lucid Grandma really was when you isolated her in her room with a lawyer who barely knew her? Mr. Harrison was sweating now. I may need to recuse myself from this case. Carol grabbed the will documents. This is mine. I earned this. You earned it? I stood face to face with her. You mean you stole it? From a dying woman with dementia, your own mother. She wanted me to have it. She wanted her family taken care of. All of us. That's why her real will, the one she made when she was healthy, split everything fairly. I looked around the room at our relatives. Everyone here knows what Grandma really wanted. Carol's daughter, who'd been quiet in the corner, finally spoke up. Mom, just stop. You told me yourself that Grandma didn't know what she was signing. You said it didn't matter because you deserved it more. The room went silent. Carol turned to her daughter, face twisted in rage. Ashley, how dare you? Ashley pulled out her phone. I recorded you saying it. I felt guilty and thought maybe I should document it. She hit play and Carol's voice filled the room. The old lady won't know the difference. 3 signatures and we're set for life. Just keep your mouth shut. The lawyer immediately stood up. I need to report this to the state bar immediately. This will is clearly invalid and there may be criminal charges.